sound bad, but you almost have a really great filter set up to prevent the wrong people in. And it's much easier to do the work on the front end. While it takes a little bit more time to prevent the wrong people from getting into your life, not only just in a business perspective, but on a personal level, than to clean up after they've messed it up and they've caused damage. Because, it's like an investment, for example. You lose 50% on the investment, it takes 100% return just to get that back.
1,000%, man. And we deal with it all the time. It's like you can spend loads and loads of money trading the wrong person and realize they were the wrong one, and you're $100,000 upside down on an individual.
Yep. Not only counting the opportunity costs that they affected the business as well.
1,000%. I mean, every employee should be a profit center in some way.
Yeah.
Even down to the bookkeeper, making sure that accounts receivable are coming in on time.
Yeah.
What is the difference to a bank account over the year?
Yeah.
If you can get your receivables in under 40 days, because if you drag them out to 60 days, you're loaning that project money.
Yeah.
And money sitting in the bank is worth something. So
that's it. Yeah.
It's very important to pay attention to what's the driver for each position.
Yeah.
Like, what is the statistic that they should be measured by?
Yeah.
In our business, we call it a throat to choke.
Okay.
You got to know who's responsible for what.
Yeah.
So every day I get a report of each person in each org board and the statistics that they put out every day.
Interesting.
And what that does for us is allows us not to be biased in any way.
It eliminates the guessing.
Yeah, numbers are numbers. So the politics go away. When you can manage from politics and manage from, I should be paying you more money instead of you should be making me richer, which is something I like to do. We were talking about entrepreneurship
right
before we came on. It's like, if I can tie a statistic that I can manage you by and then come to you and say, you should be making more money, or we should be making more money collectively, me and you, then I'm doing it from a much more powerful place, a place that's care, a place that, hey, I care about your future, I care about your family. If I can manage from there, then it's hard for a person to feel like I don't care about them, and they can get on board a lot faster.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what part of your business did you really start inputting all these different things like statistics, technology, data, all these different things? Because at first, most businesses the first year, they're just trying to make payroll and survive and become profitable and everything like that.
So the first few years, I was definitely just wearing 30 hats.
Yeah.
I'd load my truck up. I'd have a tool belt in it and some boots, and I'd have some slacks and some dress shoes so I could go to the bank and beg for money.
Yeah.
And try to get lines of credit so we could take on more projects.
Sure.
And so that was in the beginning. And then somewhere around year 5, I got really, really deep with eMyth.
Yeah.
And did some consulting for a year or two, one-on-one direct.
Yeah.
And at that point, what I believe really happened to me is I got so systems oriented that I almost turned into an engineer. So it kind of made me cold. So I left the human part out. And so it wasn't until probably year 6 or 7 where I found a good happy balance in between spending the time with the people, having the systems in place, knowing who was going to be around forever, knowing who was a mercenary, and sometimes having to keep that guy anyway. I always say that most of the time in the business, especially in construction, you have a percentage of guys that are dead men walking.
Yeah.
But you're not going to put the company at risk by firing them, even though they're kind of a mercenary and they don't really care about the company. Like they're there fully for themselves.
Yeah, sure.
Because you have to protect other families. And so we need to be, there were times where we had to be able to scale and take on enough work that the customer could trust us. At the same time, I knew there was guys there that needed to go.
Yeah.
And I kept them on for myself, the business, and the other foremen, their families.
Yeah.
Because if I had not done that, we'd have not been able to grow and find the people that are with us today.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the guys from back then are still with me, but a lot of them are gone as well. And so many times, man, you're going to plant a bunch of trees and then cut 80% of them, keep the 20, plant a bunch more, cut the 80%, keep the 20. And we're really at that place where I've been through enough rotations of that I know who's going to be here and who's not. And when new guys come on, we look at them and evaluate them the same way we did in the past.
Yeah.
Do they have these 5 things? Are they really about what they say they are? And if they are, we keep them, and then we cut the rest and do it again.
Yeah.
It was constant. People make the mistake of getting comfortable in a business and thinking, okay, we have it all under control. We can stop recruiting. As long as I'm bidding work, I'm recruiting. In fact, I would say at a 1.25 ratio.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're going to land that really big one. And you actually need to have abundance in your not only your life, but in your career when it comes to bidding work So we can let go of jobs if they're not profitable.
Right.
You know, if we get squeezed by somebody and we're like, okay, cool, let the guy do it.
Yeah.
You know, or hey, you don't want to wear your hard hat, you don't want to tie off, you don't want to do a safety plan. Cool, man.
Later.
I got somebody else.
Yeah.
And then what's really good about that is it gets to a place where not only the employees know that, but the customers know that. So it gets really, really healthy where you can put in some healthy lines and be like, hey, listen, I'm going to do a really good job for you, but I can't do it for free.
Yeah.
Or you go to the guy and you say, hey, listen, John, I love you to death. You've been with the company a long time. I believe in you. You've been here. I chose you. I want you to make me right. But if you can't follow the safety, the quality, and the production, it doesn't work, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not even mad at you. I'm just telling you
that's the way it is.
I brought you here and I need you here. So I need you to do that for me. Yeah. And if they can't, man, they know I got people that'll replace them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the brutal reality of business. It's not because I want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I need you to do your job, you know?
So what do you think is, because I've heard a lot of this lately, and I've been trying to even just analyzing my own business and how to do it, is a lot of times people say, it's like a family, it's like a family. But any true business is not fully like a family, because a family, regardless of what happens, you're going to take care of them. You're not going to fire them. You're not going to do these different things. And I heard, I think it was Reed Hastings, the founder of Netflix. He said, we run our business like a professional sports team. And the plus side to that is that people know that they're here to perform. We pay the hell out of people that do the right things. But then I also think that there's a good balance to making sure that every single person on the team feels heard, that they are valued, that you're there for them, even on a personal level. What's your take? What do you think is the right balance, one or the other? How have you viewed in your companies, and what mistakes have you made on the way to kind of get it in the right, I would say, portion of that?
So for us, I would say we're like a family at the management level.
Okay.
Everybody's really, really close.
Got it.
Now there's people that come into that group and we have to vet them collectively. What I've found is very interesting is that if somebody's not performing, there's a conversation amongst the family that was already there, whether this person is going to fit or not. And so
you already knew.
Our instead of it just being me,
yeah,
we're to the point that we're close enough that I don't even have to fire people all the time. My people might fire you before I even get a chance,
right? Because
they see up close what you're producing, what you're giving. I have crews in the field that will fire guys, just because they're in that group, and they have a certain culture inside that group, and they don't like it if somebody's not meeting that culture, and they'll get rid of them themselves